Have you ever been working late at night on a report because you've spent the entire day screwing around and found the incessantly white background of your word processor and your web browser to be unbearable? Well, indeed, we're staying in front of our screens later and later into the night these days, which is why today we're honoring our first unsung hero of tech, dark mode. Oftentimes, it isn't obvious whether an app or a program features a dark mode, and it's often a little unassuming option buried in a menu somewhere. But for those of you who are night owls, you'll know that it works by reversing the usual color scheme of your windows, putting light-colored text on a dark background. But it isn't as simple as just inverting the colors on a web page and calling it a day. And you can see this if you have a browser extension that applies a dark mode, as some elements on the page often don't look as nice, while other ones, such as images, won't invert or dim properly. So, coding a good-looking dark mode that is specific to a certain website often requires a fair bit of finesse. However, this often ends up being worth it, as dark mode ends up delivering quite a few benefits. You see, it's pretty common these days for phones and computers to have a built-in night mode to reduce blue light. You can learn more about that up here, but the basic idea is that blue light from your screens can affect your ability to properly fall asleep. So night mode reduces blue light emissions by giving everything a yellowish or reddish tinge. And this might not be a big deal if you're just trying to read text, but it can result in nearly everything else looking noticeably discolored. And that's where dark mode can be advantageous, particularly on phones. Many smartphones these days use OLED screens, which don't require a backlight like a standard TV or computer monitor would. So any fully black areas of an app in dark mode would just have their pixels turned completely off, so much less light ends up assaulting your eyes. And although you won't get this effect if you're using a regular monitor, as you'll still have its entire backlight emitting blue light, dark mode can still make things much easier to look at during the night if you don't have another way to reduce eye strain, such as bias lighting. But it isn't just about making screens easier on the eyes. On those phones with OLED screens that we just mentioned, having fewer pixels illuminated means that dark mode can extend your battery life, as having your brightness turned up is a notorious battery hog, leading some people to run their apps in dark mode even during the daytime. In fact, Google claimed a few years ago that having a predominantly white screen can use up to 6 times as much battery as a predominantly black one on the original Pixel. So it might be worth switching to dark mode if you find yourself consistently fighting poor battery life. Android currently offers options to enable dark mode on frequently used apps like phone and messages, and iOS has a smart invert colors feature that switches Apple apps to a dark mode pretty elegantly and also works with third-party apps with varying degrees of success. On the desktop side of things, you can enable a dark theme in Windows 10 that can tone down the excessive white of the settings menu and File Explorer. So although dark modes aren't universally present yet, it's great to see developers putting some thought into saving our eyes. And that's why it's the first unsung hero of tech. And speaking of saving your eyes, check out the Invisible Shield with EyeSafe. You already know that bright screens that emit blue light can both strain your eyes and disrupt your sleep, and we're spending 10 or even more hours a day staring at screens on average. So, why not protect your eyes? Their Glass Plus Vision Guard with EyeSafe technology filters harmful blue light while maintaining the color performance of your display. So the way it does this is that instead of blocking entire parts of the visible spectrum, Vision Guard will only remove the most harmful high-energy blue light for superior color reproduction. In fact, it adheres to the TUV Rhineland standard for maintaining color quality. Glass Plus Vision Guard is available for both iPhone and iPad, so love your eyes. Check it out at the link below. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, dislike, check out our other videos, comment with a video suggestion if you want to see your idea on a future Fast as Possible, and don't forget to subscribe or you will miss it. I mean, you might not. Lots of people watch without subscribing, but don't be one of those people. Or, I mean, do be one of those people if the alternative is not watching at all.